Okay, guys. So I've been seeing so much like stuff on YouTube about Barbie, Oppenheimer, and like comparing them or making a joke Barbenheimer or whatever. I'm like, what the fudge is this? And then conveniently a friend of mine posted this in the chat. So I'm gonna watch this with you guys and finally get an answer to what the why is these two being brought up together? I just don't. I have never had intention on watching Barbie because it's Barbie. So I didn't read one. I'm like, well, how can you make a freaking story out of a Barbie doll? Unless it's gonna be like life size or something like that, or somehow transform into a human, or I don't know. Point is, I didn't understand how they were gonna do that. And then also, I don't even forget the Barbenheimer. So I'm assuming it's a person, probably something probably famous, and not just an uncultured swine who doesn't understand. But today, I will learn about this meme concept thing with you. So let us enjoy this together.
Barbie or Oppenheimer?
Which one do you think I prefer?
No, I mean, which one do you want to watch first?
You are pulling my leg.
Every so often, movie studios do this weird thing where two almost identical movies come out more or less at the same time. We're talking about Deep Impact and Armageddon, or Ants and a Bug's Life, or White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen. The list goes on and on. They're called twin films, and they're usually the result of two studios investing in similar scripts at a similar time and then racing to get theirs to the market first. But what is far less common is when two completely different movies are released not just within a few weeks of each other, but on the exact same day. I am of course talking about when The Dark Knight and Mamma Mia came out on the same day in 2008.
Yeah, but those are clearly two different movies, right? I've never seen Mamma Mia.
Wait, what? Hang on, no, that's not what I mean. No, I'm talking about...
Like, are these two movies very similar?
What started out life as a bit of a joke has grown into something else entirely.
Legend, Mr. Wayne.
There's t-shirts, there's memes, there's TikToks and trailer mashups, there's New York Times articles, there's a website...
Just tell me the plot of both movies, now!
Hell, even Tom Cruise posted about it, and then Margot Robbie did as well. It's got its own Wikipedia page, and people are even asking the stars about it on the red carpet.
I mean, I'll be going to see Barbie 100%. I can't wait to see it. I think it's just great for the industry and for audiences that we have two amazing films by amazing filmmakers coming out on the same day.
It's a perfect double bill. I think actually start your day with Barbie, then go straight into Oppenheimer, and then Barbie Chaser.
The first movie they watch is massively ambitious. A film written and directed by one of the most respected people in Hollywood. Someone who has Oscar nominations not just for Best Director, but twice for Best Screenplay. A passion project led by a husband and wife founded production company with the backing of a major studio. An all-star cast in front of the camera and a team of absolute cinematic perfectionists behind the scenes. All working together to deliver a visual feast of exquisite production design, cinematography, costumes and special effects to tell a story about one of the most influential figures in history. And the second movie is massively ambitious. A film written and directed by one of the most respected people in Hollywood. Someone who has Oscar nominations not just for Best Director, but twice for Best Screenplay. A passion project led by a husband and wife founded production company with the backing of a major studio. An all-star cast in front of the camera and a team of absolute cinematic perfectionists behind the scenes. All working together to deliver a visual feast of exquisite production design, cinematography, costumes and special effects to tell a story about one of the most influential figures in history. Maybe this video is going to be longer than I thought. While they could have said the most talked about movie premiere is not one, but two original screenplays helmed by critically acclaimed directors.
You know
sure, one of them is based on a very popular IP, but that's hardly a guarantee of success. Because while that IP might be one of the most recognizable in the world, Margot Robbie...
I will say one thing. I do like the fact that they apparently, as you said, if they really are original stories and movies, I do like that fact because everything else you just listed were like sequels or remakes or whatever. So the fact that we're getting something original story as something that's popular, it makes me kind of happy, honestly. Even though I'm not a fan of Barbie, I have no idea who Oppenheimer is. I have very little to no knowledge of what either of these two stories are about. Just knowing that they're kind of originally written and made by these fairly very good directors and everything. I don't pay close attention to directors that well. But I'm just thinking that's pretty good. So, if nothing else, I am appreciative of that much, to be honest.
You can count on one hand the number of people who have enough influence in Hollywood to get such a...
So when movies come out on the same day, they're competing.
But one of those people is Margot Robbie, who, besides Tom Cruise, is arguably the most influential actor/producer working in Hollywood today. Robbie founded her own production company, Lucky Chap Entertainment, in 2014 alongside her now husband Tom Ackerley. And if this sounds familiar, it's because Nolan's production company, Syncopy Inc., was also co-founded between him and his wife, Emma Thomas, who has produced all of his films. But although Lucky Chap is producing the Barbie movie, that movie is also being financed and distributed by, you guessed it, Warner Brothers. And even though they seem to be making amends now, rumor has it that Warner Brothers deliberately scheduled Barbie to release at the same time as Oppenheimer as a bit of a screw you to Nolan for ditching the studio, hoping that it will draw crowds away and impact the film's profitability. But it kind of looks like this backfired, because no one predicted Barbenheimer. According to the New York Times, every time Barbie released a trailer, Oppenheimer would start trending. So ironically enough, the Warner Brothers' decision to screw over Christopher Nolan has actually ended up giving him a ridiculous amount of free word-of-mouth advertising, so joke's on them, I guess. But students interested, but don't cram all the best bits in the movie into the trailer. But the best trailer of the year, hell, the best trailer I have seen for a long time, was not for Oppenheimer, it was for Barbie.
Interesting.
The teaser released in December last year was sheer brilliance, a direct parody of Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey, one of the most famous movies of all time that was directed by one of cinema's most famous auteurs, a director who is adored by the mostly male-dominated world of online film criticism. The Venn diagram of...
Literally, the only Barbie trailer I've actually seen is like the few seconds in YouTube when they advertise it, and he's like, "Hey Barbie, hi kid," and skip. I've actually never seen a full Barbie trailer. It's just like that 5-second window where I can skip it. I didn't even know that was
the Barbie movie probably has a pretty narrow crossover. Our goal is to be like, whatever you're thinking, we're going to give you something totally different. The thing you didn't know you wanted. This is exactly what this teaser promised us. But it did more than that. By riffing on Stanley Kubrick, it brought in a whole audience of film geeks who otherwise would probably never have watched the trailer for a Barbie movie. Oppenheimer is going to look absolutely gorgeous. What we have seen of the costuming and production design just looks pitch perfect, and Nolan's special effects teams, guys who worked on Fury Road and Top Gun Maverick, have figured out a way to replicate a nuclear explosion without using CGI. It's going to be
practical effects?
Let's go recruit some scientists.
Okay.
But believe it or not, a similar level of filmmaking craft is on display in Barbie, just in a completely different way. We've already talked about the level of detail in the production design and costuming, but Greta Gerwig has also talked about her cinematic influences, and how the look of Barbie is very much inspired by Technicolor musicals from the golden age of Hollywood.
Because Barbie was invented in 1959, it felt like we could ground everything in that look.
She describes those films as having authentic artificiality. You have a painted sky in a soundstage, which is an illusion, but it's also really there. The painted backdrop is really there. The tangibility of the artifice is something that we kept going back to. The video has shown that Barbenheimer is more than just a fun meme. It is a showcase of not one, but two hugely influential filmmakers at the height of their power, proving that creativity and filmmaking talent can express itself in completely different but equally valid ways. And we have the honor, no, the privilege, of getting to witness them both on the same day.
That's pretty cool.
Happy Barbenheimer, everyone.
Actually pretty dang neat. Also, guys, you know, and he did a good job explaining it and helping me understand, so I've definitely been like, I'm gonna check out more of his videos before I actually subscribe. But he did a pretty great job explaining. Like, I definitely really like that. So, nothing else. Now I finally understand. And I'm a little sorry that I probably cut out a lot of the video because I was just really sitting there, honestly, just watching, not even commentating. I put in a little bit, but honestly, hearing that they're both well crafted and very well put together by very accomplished directors and teams and these very great visions. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense why people, and then being released on the same day, it makes sense why a lot of people are talking about seeing them both as a double feature and everything. So, it does sound interesting. Of course, I don't really go to movie theaters that often, so I'm not going to do that. But whenever these movies come out on like HBO or on a streaming service, then yeah, probably watching them. But otherwise, I'm still not gonna watch these movies. But it sounds interesting, and he didn't even talk about the story, so I don't even know. Still don't know what these movies are even about. And apparently the trailers did a good job of keeping the Barbie story hidden. At least the teaser did. I haven't even seen Oppenheimer. trailer at all that well. So I don't know what these movies are about. Don't even know if I'll be even interested. But that is pretty interesting. So who knows? Maybe one day I'll see it. But until next time, for BlazeNpi, see.